Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
After Zoomies at the dog park, it's time for Drive Up at Target. In goes a big bag of kibble and one squeaky chicken toy for the good boy. Drive Up that's ready when you are. Only in the Target app. Just tap Target.
War Eagle, and welcome to another edition of Ever to Podcast, our somewhat regular get-together in audio format here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. That's all about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, and Auburn family stuff. An easier way to say it, if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for joining us in what we're going to be doing on this particular episode of Ever to Podcast, episode 37, I believe. It's been a little bit since we've gotten together in this format, but we're back together today to discuss the latest Auburn news, discussions, scuttlebutt, things out there on social media and stuff. Let's talk about things today like the MLB draft and Ike Irish. We're going to talk a little bit of catch up from things that have happened while we're gone, some schedule news for particular sports, and then also just look ahead to SEC Media Days and anything else out there that pops in my head as we gather together for the first time in about over a week, I bet, at this point. So thank you all for letting me take a little bit of a break. I intended to get a few of the episodes out while we were out in Texas for a family wedding. My brother just married his lovely bride, Abigail, and we are so excited for Carson and Abigail and want to continue to wish them congratulations on our platforms here. I was out in Waco, Texas, and doing some snooping and getting ready for August 29th, but it was cool to see that place again, relating this back to Auburn and kind of get ready, geared up for the season. It was kind of like a pre-tasting of what's about to happen, just a few short weeks, really a month and a half at this point. Anyway, let's get into the stuff we want to discuss today. Obviously, the most big news right now, as we're sitting here on this particular Monday, the 14th of July, is the MLB draft. It is currently happening over 2 days. We are in the middle of those 2 days at this current time. The first 3 rounds have transpired, as I believe that breaks down now. And Auburn has already officially been on the board. Your brand new addition to the MLB, now to the Baltimore Orioles. No surprise here. Ike Irish goes number 19 overall to the Baltimore Orioles. Joining Gunnar Henderson, that's what his name was, former potential Auburn person there as well. He and Gunnar are part of a great program. In fact, I was reminded last night that Camden Yards, there are certain elements of Plainsman Park that have Camden Yards element in it, just like they have the Wall and Fenway Park. So just trying to bring all the different Auburn connections in that. We discussed this in some great detail about the history of this. You know, another first rounder for Auburn baseball, another first rounder for Butch Thompson, and all of the different names that go with that, the pedigree that's being built for Butch Thompson and getting people to the league and high levels in the league. Ike Irish is just the next chapter in that, and I don't mean that in just dismissing him. It's a big chapter in this book that's being written for Auburn. The big story, though, is how much he fell in the draft, and I don't think it's because of him. Watching the majority of the draft up to his point, it seemed like the big narrative was that people were shocked with some of the directions people went in terms of going heavy high school or heavy shortstops. And it really bumped people back in terms of their priorities for certain teams. So I think that's what you're seeing there. I believe Ike Irish was like only the 3rd or the 4th college player taken in the draft at that point. So that was pretty interesting to watch. But regardless of the story of how he got there, he now knows his home. You now have another reason to tune in to an MLB team. I know all of you probably have, or a lot of you, a team that you've already selected. Maybe some of you wanted him on the Braves. I would have as well. They could sure use some help. But you at least know where to peek in once he gets to the big leagues, working his way through the minor leagues, I'm sure. Ike Irish. Now we watch and wait and see where the rest of our guys that are there, the potential commits and recruits, and those that are now eligible for the draft from the current team to see who gets picked in the next couple hours on this second day of the MLB draft. Let's talk about schedule stuff. There was a lot of it over the week in terms of different sports. We'll run through some of it here very quickly. The Auburn preseason game was announced with Oklahoma State. There's usually two, but Oklahoma State and Auburn will play October 15th in Birmingham. This is really interesting. I love this. It does feel extremely early, and it does make me wonder, will this now take the place of a tip-off at Toomer's? Although I thought last year's went off without a hitch and was excellent, especially when you coupled in that concert that went with it. I didn't stay for the concert, but you just wonder, it's about the time they normally do tip-off at Toomer's, or I guess they still could do it to build up hype for that. But that Birmingham game versus Oklahoma State feels bigger than an exhibition game, but at least it will draw some attention and give you an opportunity, those of you in the Birmingham area or that want to travel to it, to see what this brand new Auburn basketball team looks like. Men's golf also announced their season schedule. And I know a lot of you are probably like, well, I don't really check in till the end. And that's fair, but I'm going to encourage you, as someone who has been even in this last year, to a match event, I guess I should say, on location. I live in Georgia, so I was able to attend when they went to an Atlanta event here and played and competed and won in Atlanta, Georgia. Here are what you can look forward to for Auburn men's golf and bouncing back potentially with Jackson Coyven back to a national championship. Remember, this goes across all throughout the year. They play fall, technically winter, and then lots of spring. You've got the Invitational at the Honors Course, which is in September 15th to 16th in Tennessee. Fort Worth, Texas, they'll be at one, September 29th to 30th. Wilmington, North Carolina, October 19th to the 21st. Tulsa, Oklahoma, October 27th to the 28th. They always go out to the Amir Ari Invitational in Hawaii. So if you're out there in Hawaii, congratulations. They get to go on a trip out there, it feels like, every year. They're going to the Gator Invitational in Gainesville, February 14th through the 15th. They also will have the Southern Highlands in Las Vegas, March 1st through the 3rd. The Hyatt Ponte Verde Beach, Florida, March 7th through the 9th. You also have Palm City, Florida, March 28th through the 24th. They'll be in Nashville or Franklin, Tennessee, but it's the part of the Vanderbilt thing, I think, April 3rd through the 5th, and then they'll be in Georgia at Richmond Hill for the Ford Collegiate, April 13th through the 14th. The SEC championships, obviously, and then potential NCAA rounds, and we'll determine. Hopefully they'll do well enough to host a regional again, and that will be your first and only official look if they get that opportunity to see them on an Auburn course in their home. But you see Tennessee, you see Florida, you see Texas, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Nevada, Hawaii. These are all places, Tennessee, that you get to see your Auburn Tigers, come out and support them, and that is their schedule for the upcoming season. Just with our time left, kind of rounding out our discussions today, catching up on a bunch of things that just transpired. I'm not going to be able to cover it all. Obviously, if you've been paying attention to NBA Summer League, you've seen a lot of Auburn Tigers. You have seen Janai Broome reminding people that he's not just a big man. He can knock down the threes. He's a very versatile player in the NBA Summer League. I think pleasantly surprising for those that aren't as familiar with Miles Kelly, Auburn people are, they're truly seeing not just how good a guard he is in terms of offensively, but defensively. Miles Kelly, I feel like I've heard more about him in the NBA Summer League than most of the other guys. So he is really showing out, I think, that what Bruce Pearl was talking about him being one of the best two-way players in collegiate basketball and now translated over to the NBA Summer League is really starting to shine for Dallas. I passed through Dallas today and saw signs for the Dallas Mavericks, and it just reminded me that he was there he's playing for that particular town. So that was a really cool thing to be reminded of, and with all the highlights that you saw of him this week. Dylan Cardwell showing once again how good defensively he is. You've probably seen that highlight of him running someone down across the court to block their shot on the other end. So Dylan Cardwell, he's a great person. He's a great leader. He's a great athlete. He's a great basketball player. I think if the team that he's with, if they will take a chance on him outside of the NBA Summer League, they're going to be getting somebody that's really going to compete for them in a big way. And finally today, as we're trying to just kind of catch up on things, SEC Media Days is here. It is transpiring right now. Auburn is tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is going to be a wild day for me. I am not really sure how my schedule is going to pan out, so we're trying to get back in the schedule today that we normally do with these shows and stuff, but depending on what transpires tomorrow, we could be a little bit altering there. But you remember Coach Hugh Freeze, obviously. Keldrick Falk is back as your representative. Jackson Arnold is first-timer for Auburn, and then Connor Liu, first-timer for Auburn. All three of those guys will be in the SEC Media Days lineup with head coach Hugh Freeze. We'll be talking about that and anything else that comes out from SEC Media Days as much as we can. That is the best I can do to catch you up on some of the Auburn news that happened over the week that I was gone. Thank you once again for your patience and allowing me to be with my family and celebrate my brother and his new bride. And we're excited to have them in the family, and I'm going to turn her into an Auburn fan and not a Baylor fan. I've told her that to her face, so this isn't like I'm saying anything wrong. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in today. As always, we'd love to hear from you, e2cnetwork@gmail.com, or just hit us up on any social media direct message if you'd like to have any suggestions, topics brought up here. Just want to reach out to us. And always, always make sure you're downloading the Auburn Experience podcast, the main show we have on our feed. Listen to that as well. Episode 133 is out. Till we get to talk to you again, appreciate you being with us, and War Eagle.